It's a chilly morning in a quiet American town. Inside a small, worn-down apartment, a single father named Daniel Carter ties his old work apron, getting ready for another double shift at the local diner. The sun barely peeks through the faded curtains as his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, sits at the kitchen table, coloring on the back of an old receipt. The fridge hums quietly, mostly empty except for milk, some eggs, and half a loaf of bread. Daniel smiles as he slides a single slice of toast onto Lily's plate. "Eat up, sweetheart. Gotta make sure you're strong for school." Lily looks at him, noticing he hasn't made anything for himself. "Daddy, aren't you eating too?" He chuckles softly, brushing her hair back. "I'll grab something at work. Don't you worry." But he won't. At the diner, Daniel works tirelessly, refilling coffee cups, clearing tables, smiling at every customer. He's the kind of man who never complains, even when life gives him every reason to. Every dollar he earns is carefully counted: rent, food, Lily's school supplies. There's never anything left for himself. But Daniel doesn't mind. Because every night when he tucks Lily into bed and hears her say, "I love you, Daddy," it reminds him why he keeps going. Still, behind his tired smile, there's a quiet struggle. A man doing everything right, yet still barely holding on. And just when life seems to have him cornered, fate decides to test him again, this time in the most unexpected way. But who is this stranger he's about to meet? And how will she turn his world upside down? Across town, a woman named Maya Brooks stares at her reflection in a cracked motel mirror. Her eyes are tired, not just from sleepless nights, but from the guilt she's tried to bury. Bills pile up on the nightstand. The phone won't stop buzzing with debt collectors. Her life has spiraled so far out of control that she barely recognizes herself anymore. She's tried everything: job interviews, odd gigs, but nothing has worked. And lately she's been doing things she's not proud of. Pretending to be stranded. Selling fake charity trinkets. Telling sob stories to kind-hearted strangers, just to get enough money to eat. That day, as she wanders into a grocery store, desperate and hungry, she spots Daniel. He's standing in the checkout line, holding a few items: the cheapest bread, a pack of instant noodles, and school supplies with little cartoon stars on them. He's wearing a faded uniform with his name tag barely hanging on. His shoes are worn, his hands rough, but his face carries a calm kindness. To Maya, he looks like an easy mark. A soft heart, someone she could fool. She hesitates for a moment, watching him count coins before handing them to the cashier. She thinks to herself, he looks too kind to say no. As he leaves the store, she follows him to the parking lot. Her pulse quickens. She knows what she's about to do is wrong, but desperation wins again. But will she really go through with it? And how will Daniel respond when a stranger asks for help he can't afford to give? The afternoon sun burns low as Daniel pushes his grocery cart through the parking lot. His thoughts are on Lily, how he'll cook something small tonight, maybe make it feel special somehow. That's when Maya appears. Her eyes are red, her voice shaky. She clutches her purse and steps in front of him. "Excuse me, sir. I'm so sorry to bother you," she stammers. "I just lost my wallet and my mom's in the hospital. I need to get to her, but I don't have gas money. Please, anything would help." Daniel freezes. He's been in tight spots before, and something about her story doesn't add up. But then he sees the tears, real or not, he can't tell. He sighs softly, reaching into his pocket. Inside, he finds exactly $10, the last of his money before payday. He was saving it for Lily's school lunch. But as he looks at Maya, trembling and hopeless, something in him can't walk away. He holds the bill out gently. "Here," he says. "If your mom's sick, she needs you more than I need this money." Maya blinks, shocked. She wasn't expecting kindness, especially not from someone who clearly didn't have much. She takes it slowly, mumbling, thank you so much." But as Daniel walks away, she watches him, sees the cheap groceries, the worn clothes, and the quiet exhaustion in his steps. And for the first time in a long time, she feels shame. That night, she lies awake in her motel room, staring at the $10 bill on the table. Something about the look in his eyes haunts her. Because he didn't just give her money, He gave her dignity. But what happens when Maya sees the man she scammed again and witnesses the life behind his kindness? The next evening, rain pours over the town. Maya walks down the street, her hoodie soaked, trying to find shelter. That's when she spots something familiar, the same man from yesterday. Daniel. He's walking down the road, holding an umbrella over his little girl Lily. His other hand carries a bag of groceries. The bus passes by, splashing water across the sidewalk, but Daniel just laughs, comforting his daughter. "Don't worry, sweetheart," he says. "We'll be home soon. Just a little rain." Lily looks up at him and smiles. "Daddy, you can have my toy. You've been working so hard. You deserve something nice too." Daniel kneels down and hugs her tightly, his voice breaking. "You're my little sunshine, you know that?" Maya watches from across the street, frozen. The man she scammed is walking miles in the rain just to get home with his daughter. And the $10 she took could have meant food or a bus ride for them. Tears mix with the raindrops on her face. She whispers to herself, "What have I done?" That night she can't sleep. For the first time in years, her conscience won't let her rest. She decides that tomorrow, she'll make it right, no matter what it takes. But how do you repay someone who gave you kindness when you gave them deceit? The morning sun rises over the diner where Daniel works. The smell of fresh coffee fills the air, and he's busy refilling cups for customers. Life goes on just as it always does. But today, something unexpected happens. Maya walks in. Her heart pounds in her chest. She's holding a small envelope in her hand. Her palms are sweating, her voice trembling. She walks quietly to the counter and waits until Daniel turns around. Their eyes meet, and he recognizes her instantly. Before he can speak, she places the envelope in front of him. "I don't deserve your forgiveness," she says softly. "But I needed to do this." Then she walks out. Daniel hesitates, then opens the envelope. Inside is a crisp $10 bill and a handwritten note. "You gave me kindness when I didn't deserve it. I'm sorry. You reminded me what being human means." Beneath the note is a small donation receipt from a local children's charity made in Lily Carter's name. Daniel's eyes well up with tears. He looks out the diner window, seeing Maya walk away, not running, not hiding, just walking lighter. He whispers to himself, everyone deserves a second chance. But what becomes of Maya after this moment of redemption? Does kindness truly change a person's life forever? Months later, spring has come back to the little town. The once empty park now bursts with color, children laughing, flowers blooming, the world alive again. And among the volunteers setting up tables for a local food drive is Maya. She's different now, her clothes cleaner, her smile real. She's found purpose helping others. As she hands out food, a familiar voice calls out, "Daddy, look! It's the nice lady." Maya turns, and there they are. Daniel and Lily, walking through the park, hand in hand. Lily waves happily, and Daniel smiles, not with resentment, but with warmth. Maya waves back, her eyes misty. No words are needed. Just a simple smile, one of forgiveness and gratitude. Sometimes the people who have the least to give the most. And their kindness doesn't just change others, it changes the world. Moral of this story: kindness costs nothing, but its impact can be worth everything. Because one small act can change not just a person's day, but their entire life. If this story touched your heart, don't just scroll away. Share it with someone who still believes in kindness. Because sometimes, one small story can remind the world that goodness still exists. Subscribe for more inspiring stories that prove even the smallest act of kindness can change everything. And remember, we're not just telling stories. We're changing lives.